The University of Nairobi, ordinarily mentioned as UON, is a collegiate research university established in Nairobi and one of the largest in Kenya. Its vision is to be a world-class university committed to scholarly excellence. At the same time, its mission is to provide quality university education and training, and to embody the aspirations of the Kenyan people and the global community through creation, preservation, integration, transmission, and utilization of knowledge. The theme of an institute for higher learning in Kenya goes back to 1947, when the government of Kenya worked out a scheme for the formation of a technical and commercial institution in Nairobi. No later than 1949, this scheme had stemmed into a conviction designed at advancing higher technical education for the great African Lakes region. In September 1951, a royal consent was published to the Technical College of East Africa, and the foundation stone of the college was put down in April 1952. In the course of the tallying stage, the Asian group of East Africa was then pondering to set a college for arts, science, and commerce as a memento or memorial to Mahatma Gandhi, India's second-to-none freedom hero and the world's father of non-violence. To escape replication of labor, Gandhi Memorial Academy Society considered to weld heads with those of the East African governments. Hence, Gandhi Memorial Academy was embodied to the Technical College of East Africa in 1954, and the college moved on to unlock its entries to the original intake of students in April 1956. Even supposing its spectacular annals as a scholastic academy began in 1956 with Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere as the first vice chancellor, it did not become a free-thinking university until 1970. In this year of grace, the University of East Africa was divided into three sovereign universities, i.e. Makerere University in Uganda, the University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, and the University of Nairobi in Kenya. This evolution saw the genesis of the University of Nairobi set up by an act of parliament. Since 1970, the University of Nairobi developed from a faculty-based university, serving a student population of 2,768 to a college-centered university serving over 95,000 students. In the twinkling of an eye, UON commenced drywalling its character slowly by slowly until it was validated double in 2014 by Webometric ranking as the outstanding university in this zone and ninth in Africa. However, the line of work is not usual in UON presently. Osfungus Nyamongo has tried to mute over the mayhem besieging the premier university currently, yet another intramural voice speaking from the base of my soul requires myself to utter and stipulate it in a manner compatible with my obligations to respect, uphold, and defend the Kenyan organic law. In any event, whoever who will be ashamed of the Lord Jesus Christ before men, the Lord Jesus Christ will be ashamed of him before the angels. The body is one. Nevertheless, the functions are many. When one part brings glory to the body, the whole body rejoices. Moreover, when one part groans, the whole body suffers. Therefore, just like in the words of the late the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and I kindly quote him, "We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly, and whatever affects one in a major way affects all in a minor way. It goes without saying, any injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. For some simple reasons, I can never be what I ought to be till you are what you ought to be. And you can never be what you ought to be till I am what I ought to be. This is the interrelatedness nature of reality." Unquote. Having said that, I am confident, and I will say it again, I am confident to grant the people of Kenya a genuine report on the stalemate at UON. A bona fide report signed by the angel responsible for human rights, equality, freedom, democracy, social justice, and the rule of law. Article 35 of the Kenyan Constitution 2010 enshrines access to information. Through this article, 1. Every citizen has the right of access to A. Information held by the state, and B. Information held by another person and required for the exercise or protection of any right or fundamental freedom. 2. Every person has the right to the correction or deletion of untrue or misleading information that affects the person. And lastly, 3. The state shall publish and publicize any important information affecting the nation. The UON Vice Chancellor, Professor Peter Mulwa Felix Mbiti, has whisked the prestigious university to its knee joints in a stub 3 years. Professor Mbiti solely operates UON as his personal monera. Corruption, bullying, abuse of office, superbia, ransack of public resources, promotion of his kit and mispocha, newcomers and ass kissers, sacrificing the industrious and benevolent staff. He has become a lampoon and mimicry to the staff. The staff at UON barely organize their lives. They go month after another without pay. As a result, they are compelled to borrowing cash from buddies and Shylocks whose interests are overwhelming. Many staff bargain food on deferred payment. Precisely, their rights and fundamental freedoms have been denied, violated, or infringed, or threatened. It is no enigma that at UON, Mbiti has never concluded the 2013-2017 CBA implementation and has devoted all dishonesty, loosely and blindly with the staff, adjusting union officials through weekly handouts. No sooner had Mbiti taken over the monarch at UON than he dismantled the conveyance of Model 2 budgets from UNES to his newly fashioned unit, Center of self-sponsored programs. Mbiti wanted to be fully in seizure. Professor Mbiti has distorted the capitation at UON by submitting to the Ministry of Education the total staff establishment in place of the staff serving. Over and above, he has claimed that the staff who retire and those who die in the line of duty have their names at no time detached from the payroll. The certitude that UON is insolvent is not a humor. The media has dodged its freedom and independence pursuant to Article 34 by shouting husky, forwarding reasons on behalf of Professor Mbiti, openly funded by him at a wage, intent on masking the fix and minimize the atrocity. The office of the director, the office of the Auditor General, anchored in Article 229 of the Constitution, and specifically Sub-Article 5, which orders auditing and reporting of the accounts of any entity funded from public funds, has been compromised too by Professor Mbiti. Mbiti has used the assets at UON to enchant himself to the presidency in the construction of Koitalel University, which is a spare college of UON. Koitalel University has his human shield and a bridge to the political power web matrix. Mbiti, in collusion with Chancellor Video1, has persistently offered a battle to keep the governing council out of UON for the past 2 years. UON is not only short of currency to defray payments and remit statutory contributions, but has also fallen into liabilities in remitting staff contribution in a pension scheme. Boardroom fights in UON, infiltrated by tribalism, nepotism, and political interest, have scooped horrific redunks. UON Health Services has run out of drugs. Only painkillers were in store. Now painkillers are unavailable. This is the catch-22 situation in which UON has descended into in a record juncture of 3.5 years. Mbiti has motioned UON with a high-handed mindset never seen before, and cajoled all and sundry to total submission. As if that is not enough, Mbiti aids in rigging SONU elections through open and closed, inclusions and exclusions, including but not limited to stuffing ballot boxes for the reckoned nominees, and ensures that the students' majority rule nominees are rigged out. When it comes to appointments and promotions, Mbiti knows no other names apart from those of counties 015, 016, and 017. Ladies and gentlemen, I am convinced that there is nothing which has been produced by the will of man which cannot in its turn be altered by another human will. The due process of law that was followed to qualify Professor Mbiti as the Vice Chancellor of UON is the same due process of law that will be used to disqualify him. Article 232 of Part 1 of Chapter 13 of the Kenyan Constitution 2010 enshrines values and principles of public service. This article predominantly showcases the following. 1. The values and principles of public service include A. High standards of professional ethics. B. Efficient, effective, and economic use of resources. C. Responsive, prompt, effective, impartial, and equitable provision of services. D. Involvement of the people in the process of policy making. E. Accountability for administrative acts. F. Transparency and provision to the public of timely, accurate information. G. Subject to paragraphs H and I, fair competition and merit as the basis for appointments and promotions. H. Representation of Kenya's diverse communities. And I. Affording adequate and equal opportunities in appointment, training, and advancement at all levels of public service of Roman 1, men and women. Roman 2, the members of all ethnic groups. And Roman 3, persons with disabilities. 2. The values and principles of public service apply to public service in A. All state organs in both levels of government, and B. All state corporations. 3. Parliament shall enact legislation to give full effect to this article. Now, dear Kenyans, I have no command from the Lord, though I want to give a judgment as one who by the Lord's mercy is trustworthy, without bemire, and unimpeachable. Because of the present crisis, I think it is prudent for Professor Mbiti to be victimized, demoted in rank, dismissed, or otherwise removed from office unequivocally.